Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's Afrat here. I was just sitting here in the cage thinking about my past lives and my family. They're my relatives. They're all the same. If you think about it, we're all just extensions of each other. And my first one, that brings my firstie. My firstie was Radam. Radam and some people think it was Radam and Eve, but it wasn't Radam and Eve. But the first wife was Lilith, okay? Lilith, she was, she wasn't the smartest, that's why she didn't last. Everybody thought she was evil, but she wasn't evil. She was just dumb, because every rat knows you never, ever, ever trust a snake in the grass, That's right. You never trust a snake in the grass. And, but then there came Eve, and she was a clone. That's why she came from a rib. But then, most people don't know that kind of thing. So, then when you have some time passes, and then there's the rats, that end up on the Noah's Ark. Well, the funny thing about Noah's Ark was there was more than just two rats, Even if they started out with two rats, they ended up with a bunch of them. So we've always been prolific. But what most people don't think about is where Noah's Ark landed, Let's face it, it was Mount Ararat. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mount Ararat. Think about it, huh? Yeah. Well, and then, we moved in. A few thousand years go by, and then what? We end up in, old Egypt town. That's right. I have family that goes back to Egypt, and then my great-great-great-grandmother, of course, was treated like a queen. She was a goddess, if you will. Cleopatra was her name. Yeah, Cleopatra was pretty famous. Then a few thousand years go by, if you think about it, and we didn't get into the Middle Ages or the Dark Ages when they blamed us for the plague. That was all a misunderstanding. But then we moved a little bit into one of my more infamous family members. His name was Rasputin. That's right. Rasputin was Russian. And he did a few things that was questionable. Of course, we're rats, and all we do is questionable stuff. But we now move from one of my infamous relatives to one of my almost famous relatives, from the infamous to the almost famous, my Uncle Ricky. Uncle Ricky was amazing. Here's one of his clips. He was in the movies. Check it out. Ricky, he was something else. You would think the drinking was the problem, but it wasn't the drinking that got him in trouble. It was what he was drinking. That's right. He got a hold of some rat poison, and that was his end, But now I just like to, before we close, I'd like to thank, one of my final family members, very mysterious. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here right now, and that would be Afron. That's right, my creator, Afron. If it weren't for his magical industries, then, I wouldn't be here to say, be able to talk about my family and about your family, something to think about, I'm glad we got a chance to share, and I hope you liked it. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you got friends, you got family, like, share, subscribe, and maybe leave a comment or something. And of course, as always, I just like to say, thank you very much, Yeah, and of course, till we meet again, this was Afrat. Have a nice day.